Hi everyone, welcome to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. I tried to do today's podcast as also a live stream on my Instagram stories, but the darn thing just would not connect. It kept saying connection error, connection error. So we're just going to have to pump this out, and hopefully I can do that for you guys in the future, because I think we all need a little human connection right now, and I thought it would be really fun if I could take some live questions. But no worries, I have plenty of information for you guys today. The first thing is I want to talk about stress. I know you're all stressed out. You're either stressed because you're unemployed right now, or you're stressed because the industry is shut down and no one is auditioning or filming anything. I shouldn't say that. Believe it or not, there have been some auditions. Casting directors and productions are just hip pocketing auditions. They're asking you to audition, and then they're making some selections. And then once production starts wrapping up, they just want to go like a bullet train, and they don't want to wait on auditions. They just want to have their actors selected. So there are some people that are auditioning, and there are still some selections being made. So it is possible. So keep your head up and just keep looking for those opportunities. But if you are stressed out, I wanted to let you know something, and that is our bodies are freaking crazy, guys. The way that we think we should do something and shouldn't do something can be very contradictory. And I think the easiest example is if somebody put in front of you, and I'm going to name my favorite kind, a Boston cream pie peanut butter donut. Crazy. Those are my favorite donuts. Fortunately, they're very hard to find. So they're a Boston cream donut, but the cream inside, even though it has like that pudding texture, is also a peanut buttery vanilla. It's ridiculously good. But anyway, we put ourselves through a lot of stress. Someone puts that donut in front of us and we really want it. Like, we really, really want it. But if you haven't learned how to manage your stress and how to breathe deeply and calm yourself, the stress that you are causing on your body through that inner struggle of being upset about the fact that you cannot eat that donut because it's bad for you is much worse than anything you can do to your body by actually eating the donut. It's actually healthier for you to eat the donut if you are anxious and you are stressed out. So if you're at home right now and you think that you should be writing the next great American screenplay, or that you should be doing one-man show that your neighbor, sees through a telescope and calls William Morris, and next thing you know, you're signed. I know that's crazy, right? But your brain goes all these other places where you're like, I am not doing anything for my career. I am not doing anything for my career. I want you to I just think somebody needs to tell you that it's okay. It's okay if you need to stop. If you just need to stop and just be like, screw my career for a moment, it is okay. You don't have to be at 100% at all times. This is an extraordinary moment in our lifetime. I don't want to say in history, because we've been through epidemics, like plenty of them before, but it's an extraordinary moment in our lifetimes. So I want you to be very nice to yourself. If you want to binge that Netflix show about that guy with the tigers, I don't know, it's something that everyone's talking about, Tiger Man, Tiger Hunter, Tiger King, or whatever it is, I better watch it. Everyone says it's really good. Go ahead. Do it. Because the stress that you feel by being like, I am not going to watch that Netflix documentary. I'm going to rewrite my resume for the 7,000th time because I am an actor and I need to be ready to go. And if it's giving you a lot of anxiety and if you really need to stop and just binge something, it's okay. Just binge something. Don't beat yourself up. All right. There's plenty of time. You probably just need a good night's sleep. Do some meditation. There are plenty of apps to download that are free, and it works, guys. Meditation is amazing. I'll do another podcast on it some other time as to why it's good for actors, but we'll just leave it there for now. Breathe, take a bath, listen to some nice music, binge some awesome podcasts, and you don't have to say no to the donut. The donut in this case is binging your favorite TV show or not working on your acting career. If we were not living in these times, I would bring up the fact that you need an audition buddy when you go to auditions. And that's still something to talk about. When we ramp back up with everything, you need an audition buddy, right? It's really great when you go to an audition. It's somebody that you've run lines with a whole bunch of times. They go to the coffee store with you. They get your mind off of everything for you, and they distract you. And the same thing is true of this quarantine time. And if you're like me, you're home completely alone. It's me and my cat. There is nobody else here. I don't really talk to my neighbors. I'm sure they're annoyed with me because they always hear me banging on a drum or playing zills because I do that as a dancer. And so they're just annoyed with me. So I think they avoid me, but that's okay. I don't mind that. So we're alone. So my suggestion to you is, if you're also alone, is just like you would take a buddy into the audition, I would like you to take a buddy into the quarantine period. That doesn't mean I want you to have them come over. I want you to have to create like a virtual connection with them. Find somebody else out there that is going stir crazy, that wants to create or just needs somebody to talk to and to bounce ideas off of, that you check in every day, that you're constantly sending things to. And you guys can practice your self-tapes. You can do self-tapes over the phone. You can, this isn't being sent to a real casting director. You don't have to have them in the room for the audition to sound good, but they sure can be your reader while you're practicing your self-tapes, and vice versa. And I think if you find somebody else who's holding you accountable for doing things, then the things that we talked about in the first section of this, of that anxiety of whether you're doing something or not, because I think a lot of that anxiety comes from the fact that you just feel paralyzed because there's nothing you really can do as far as like getting out there and networking, even though that's not really true. Stay tuned to section 3 here, and I'm going to talk to you about that. But let's stick to the buddy right now, right? So if you're feeling that paralysis, or you have been doing so much work that you feel overwhelmed, if you share that work with somebody else, it'll feel like it was all for something or for someone. And also, your agents and your managers are sitting at home not doing much right now. So if there's any time for them to take a Skype call with you to go over your materials and do a goals and game plan for your career, that time would be now. And few of them have kids, and I know that some people with kids at home right now are having some troubles, especially if they're like maybe the only parent or their kids are exceptionally young. So if they've got kids running around, it's going to be hard for them to do a Skype call, right? But if they don't, there's no reason for them not to do it, and you can turn them into your little quarantine buddy for a little while. Okay, our last section of this podcast that I started to hint at is the current opportunities that are just blasting in from everywhere. And if you're unaware of the opportunities that are coming up, I'm going to cue you in on them right now. The first thing is that you should be following all of the casting directors on Instagram who are casting and booking shows that you are right for. I think this is like an episode 2 or episode 3 thing. So there's something else you can do during this. You can go back and listen to all of my episodes because you missed some good information. So you should already be following these casting directors, right? And I also follow casting directors who bring me in all the time because I want to know what they're up to. And a lot of them are doing some pretty awesome things. Today, I uploaded on my personal Instagram account a 1-minute monologue. I chose to do a Shakespeare piece because that's what I felt like doing in the moment. And this is my time to express myself as an actor. So that's what I decided to do. Because a casting director by the name of Ryan Glorioso, he does 13 Reasons Why, on Becoming a God in Central Florida. He works on some pretty impressive projects. He is based out of Louisiana, but he comes in, he casts projects in California sometimes because directors will fly him in because they love working for him or with him so much in the local Louisiana market. So he's doing a monologue challenge and he's sending it out to everybody that follows him on his Instagram. Erica Bream is having a casting director competition with fellow casting directors like Jessica Sherman. If you know her, she does everything with April Webster, and April Webster does everything J.J. Abrams. You know, these are not small casting directors that are out there putting out these opportunities. They're doing a minute or I think a minute and a half monologue challenge right now for all ages, and they are going to vote on their favorites, and the ones that win get free generals with them over Skype during this time. So there's all of these opportunities. I just got an email today from the 48-hour film project. If you don't know what that is, it's a contest that you usually have to pay for. They're doing this one completely free, and you would get a team together and they would be like, all right, your genre is Western but it has to take place in outer space. And you have to say the word, periodical in at least 3 times. And like they give you all this stuff and a character's name has to be Jim. That way you can't pre-shoot anything. It makes it really hard to do that. And you've got 48 hours to cast it, shoot it, put it through post and submit it. And then there's like voting and like all these cash prizes and everything. But they're doing an online free film festival, and you do it at home and you're creative with all the equipment that you have. And it's a good way to get eyes on you because it's a lot of directors that watch all of those videos that come through the 48-hour film project. All right, guys? So just look. You just have to look for it. You Google it. You follow the casting directors, producers, etc. that you love and see what they're up to, see what they're willing to do. Hit them up. Slide into their DMs. You have no idea who's sitting at home and just wants to do something to feel like they're being productive in their career. And if that means finding the next amazing actor and that actor is you, give them a reason to get out of bed in the morning, guys. So that is all. Chase those opportunities. They are out there. Let me know if you would be interested in me doing this as an Instagram live so I can field questions, and I would still post the podcast, of course, later. But in the meantime, guys, break a leg, wash your hands, and remember, you are not alone.